Hey guys, how's everything going on? So, thanks, and we are back. So, thank you coming back to the AnKorage, and I've got something special kind of figured out. So we are going to travel through time, and what do we travel through time with? Well, yeah, we're gonna see. It's a little late in the day. It's almost 4:30, and welcome to 2023. We are on the other side of the solstice, so the sun will be coming back, but it still goes down too early. So, what are we going to need? We are going to need something like this. No, I'm not going to muck around with the computer or anything like that. We're going to do what one of the main things of the channel is for. So, we are going to stop for today, and I'll try to swing by back again tomorrow. For you, it'll just be a quick little clip. But, we'll take it from there. So, join me as we travel through time. Alright, so we are going to get started on this. Now, just a brief little story. I tried to find this thing. Oh, excuse me, just need to let you know that this video is brought to you by the iCAD. So, anyhow, I'm going to be working on something that's 60 years old, not quite, but pretty dang close. We are going to be working on a clock, and I had come across a picture from the 60s in the family media archive that I've got, that my father had taken a picture of, and it was just of some family friends in a dining room area in a house separate from the one that I grew up in. And there was a clock that was sitting on the buffet, as we call it. This is, a place to put nice dishes and other things, and could store all that. And I think it was on that. It was that or a curio of some kind, but in either sense, this clock was brought out after the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and these were supposedly the last United States silver coinage. At least that's what they thought. And these were available in banks, and banks were selling them. And my father had happened to buy one, and this is that clock. And I tried to find that picture. I had seen it, and then I went back recently, and I can't find it for the life of me. So my apologies for that. But here we have, if I can get that angled right, here we have a clock that was sold by a bank to my father, and it has silver coins in here, 90% silver. And we had it for years, and it was on display. And and I think it was particularly my fault on why the movement on it stopped working. Little kids, stuff like that, spinning the little wheels around, stuff, the hands. And just doing that over and over and over again just wore out the gearing inside of the movement, and it failed. And after, during or just prior to what I titled The Purge, we got the call, come in, take what you like, we'll try to help out a little bit. So I took a few things. Took a few big things, like that sewing machine right over here, just out of view. Behind the camera is the screen, which you've seen, and I've got the bar. It's a little bar cart type thing that you've kind of seen. And of course, I've got that mid-century modern motif going on in here because it fits that, with this table, with the TV stand, it just fits that. So, and of course, I've got the shelves up on the wall that you've seen, and that's kind of hark back to the walls that we had in our playroom. And so what we're going to be doing is The movement that I've replaced is, of course, that original movement. It's long gone because these aren't worth anything more than the amount of silver that's in there, which last I saw was like maybe 30 bucks. So it's comparable, so it's only worth the amount in silver that's in here. But, you know, that's not why I have it. I have it because I grew up with it. So, and of course, the movement I put in, you know, that lasted for a while, but of course, that died as well. You know, because I've had this for, as of this year, 2023, I will have had it 10 years. So, and the movement is gone. So, I went out and I bought replacement movement. I got it from the same place I had gotten that other movement that's on there right now. And what we need to do is we need to switch that out. So that will be the functional restoration of this clock, so that I can take this and I can put it up on the shelves above the computer station. And, you know, and that's where it can stay. Now, what caused this movement to fail? Well, it's because, you know, this was sitting on the bar and stuff got stacked up on the bar over time, and it prevented the hands from moving. And because of that, it just bogged down the gearing on it and killed it. So that basically killed that movement. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to put this movement on. So why don't we get started with that? Okay, so here we have the clock. So make sure that's in view all right. I'll slide this forward a little bit. It looks all right, so we'll go with that. Okay, so, you know, so what we really need with this is, you know, we need some needle nose pliers, but not these ones. These are kind of big, because what I have to do is there's a little nut in there, and it's too narrow of a gap. So what we need are narrower needle nose pliers. So I've had these ones for upwards of 13, 14 years now. So, you know, these will fit in there. At least they should, somewhat. Okay. So, these hands are the original hands. Now, what I did when I switched out the movement before is that these hands weren't going to fit on that movement. So, what I did was I took them off and I actually snipped them, you know, with the cutters. You know, there's some on these pliers here, right here. But I used actual clippers to snap them, and then what I did was I super glued them onto the hands of the movement that's in there right now. So what we need to do is I need to unscrew this, put that off to the side, and I don't know if you can see that all that well, but you know, we've got the hands. They're super glued on there, so I'm going to have to remove that super glue maybe. My hopes are that I can use the same hands on the new movement, but if not, I can just take some acetone, take that off, get it off of there, and glue on the new ones. So, pop that off. There it is. Now, this is really dusty, so I'll clean that up in a second. But at this point, alright, so there we go. I've gotten that movement off. Turns out that the gap is still too narrow, even for these really, really tiny needle-nose pliers. So I essentially had to take the hour hand that I had from before, put it in there just to hold the nut in place, just so I could spin this to undo it and take it out. So I might have to do that same thing when I put the new one on. So I'll put that off to the side. Now this is very dusty, so I am just going to take my little rag and I'm just going to clean that off. And get this area here. Alright. now it's time for the new movement, so we'll take a look at that. Alright, so with the new movement, I don't need this thing because it's not going to be hung, so we'll just throw that off to the side. Got my hands here. It's got a seconds hand, but I'm not going to use the seconds. At least I don't think so. I might. I'll figure it out. So what I want to do is I want to see if the hands are going to fit on here. Might not. I need my old man glasses so I can see what I'm doing. This one is just too small, like barely. We're talking like microns. So I'm going to have to take these, let them soak in some acetone, and I will turn around and glue the hands that came with this movement onto these. So that's not a big deal. But for right now, I can go ahead and get the movement back on. Got this little thing of tools. Let's tear that open. Kind of. So I'm turning the movement to kind of help the threading to screw it down, and it is caught, and there it is. All right. So the movement's in place. Put you there. Put you here. Put you guys right there. So then we have a little tightening nut that goes on, and then we have a cap nut that will go on. And, yeah, maybe I'll put the second hand on. Why not? Okay, so what I've done, put that there, is put that off to the side, put this here. The acetone I thought I had says non-acetone, so I've got just some ordinary rubbing alcohol here. So I am going to pour a little bit into this bowl. Take that. That on. That off to the side. And I'll take the hands from the other movement, and I'm just going to put these in to let the alcohol eat away at the super glue so that I can remove it, and then I can glue on the new hands, these guys. Okay. I've done the soak, and I just used a little pocket knife, Swiss Army kind of thing, just to get in there, and like that. So they're all off. So now there's a little bit of residual glue on there, so I have a little sanding block that I'll just take a little bit on the rough side first, and this is just to kind of take off or smooth out the remaining amount. Flip it over to the finer side, like that. Nothing major. And there we go. I mean, there's still a little bit there, but it's not a concern. Okay, and then I've got the hands placed, so then we just take a little bit of super glue gel. Alright, so, and here it is. It's all fixed up, and I've got the new movement on the back right here. I cleaned up the hands, got the other pieces glued on, got them snapped on, and this is going to go right up on my shelf, and where nothing's going to lean on it or anything like that to cause the hands to not move. So there's that. So this is the last United States silver coinage, not the actual last. There's tons of it out there. So, but this has been in the family, and so now I'm taking it over. Kind of custodial, you know, and it adds to my mid-century modern look that I've got going on in here. And so that'll, you know, it was a quick thing, but it was, you know, it had like one issue, and that was the size of the hand hole thing for the post. That was it, but that was easily rectified with this little knife. Just get in there and, you know, soak it with some alcohol and then just pry it apart. No big deal. And, you know, sand down any blachers, you know, and get that fixed. So there we go. So this was TimeQuest, and we can now tell time because this clock tells the time, and it's active. And I did put the little second hand on there, so it'll let me know that it's working. So it's you know, it's nice. You know, originally there was no second hand on the movement. It was just these hands on the actual thing, and I'm preserving using those. Yeah, there's a little cuckus on there, but I'll just wipe it off with a little acetone, or if I get some. But rubbing alcohol, I'll just kind of like rub on it occasionally, just to kind of help clean that up a little bit, break up any glue schmeckers that happen to get on there. But otherwise, I'm not all that concerned with it. And so I'll just stick this up on my shelf, and I'll put it up on there, and it'll look nice and add to the decor of the room. So there we go. So we are going to end this video right there, and we will come back at a future time, hopefully not too far in the future, with Buster Quest, the Proton Pack. Nice little thing. Might be a couple of weeks, but I don't necessarily have to wait that long. So we'll see how that goes. So thank you very much, and we will talk to you later. So Skál, and take it easy.